Yeah, Basic Pharma offers a lot of pharmaceutical services. So we are a contract development and manufacturing organization for pharmaceutical products. We support our clients with, depending on their needs, of course, with different types of services and products. So we can, for example, co-develop new pharmaceutical formulations. We can manufacture as well products for clinical trials. We can provide QC services for external services. But next to that, we also out-license as a CDMO. We also out-license the production of generic products to our customers. We mainly focus on nasal sprays, creams and ointments, and pre-filled syringes. And Basic Pharma had an enormous growth last couple of years, and at this moment, more than 200 employees are working within our company throughout the different departments that we have. The main challenge is at the start to convince all people internally that they have to change their way of working. And for us, it was more working from a paper-based into a digital way of working. A lot of people are enthusiastic in that kind of changes, but there are also always people who don't like to change the way they are used to work. And you'll have to convince them that this only has advantages, but at the start also will take some work and a lot of preparation, of course. Well, for implementing SimplerQMS is of course a very big project. Everybody or a lot of people within a company are involved in when you implement a quality management system. The thing we did is that we implemented Simpler step by step in different phases. That's also the way SimplerQMS works. And the good thing is the more phases that were implemented, the more functionalities that were used, the more people get used to the way of working of Simpler, but they also saw a lot of advantages the way of this working had. So step by step, we grew into it, and nowadays nobody knows how it was before anymore. So that's a very good thing. Experience with the implementation of SimplerQMS and the process and how it was guided by the people of SimplerQMS was very good. I'm very happy with the way this all went. For the implementation of each module, we had a specific online training with the trainers of SimplerQMS. And that was with a relevant group of persons in our company. And during this training, we did several workshops in the testing environment of SimplerQMS, which worked very good. People learned to work with Simpler, but were also able to ask questions about it. And of course, at the moment, as part of every change, we also had to provide internal documentation in our quality management system. And that could be based on the work instructions that were available from SimplerQMS already. So that was very easy for us to adopt those documents with not a lot of work into our own system. Till this moment, we still have weekly meetings, weekly Teams meetings with this team of SimplerQMS. We have a very good relationship, and we can discuss issues, problems, questions, or ask for some improvements or things that we see that maybe could be done on another way. And that works very well. And we feel very happy with also still having the personal contact each week. And there's always a solution for every problem. And that's what I experienced in the implementation process, that we can discuss everything, and at the end there's always a solution. SimplerQMS doesn't think in problems, but in solutions, and that's also the way I used to work. You have to go forward, and sometimes it's difficult, but you just have to proceed and to discuss, and at the end every problem can be solved and has to be solved. The way we implemented Simpler and the way we work now is that we are very happy about it. It saves us a lot of work and time. It also saves us a lot of cabinets full of paper, where they used to, the team used to walk a lot around in the office, getting documents out of the cabinets, putting stamps on it and signatures. Now it's all in a digital way. So the compliance processes in our company related to GMP are improved by the use of SimplerQMS in the way that we have much more control over these processes. We know exactly where what the stage is of a certain process and at whom is responsible for a process or who is responsible for which type of action. And that, of course, is one of the important things for managing a quality management system and being in control and being compliant with all the regulatory affairs you have to comply with to have control and to know that things are done also in time and that the system guides you through the system. You're not depending anymore on the personal interpretation of persons, how to handle a process. Of course, you have an SOP on paper, but you're actually guided into the system who needs to approve, who needs to review. There's no other way than doing it the way Simpler is programmed. You get pop-ups when a document needs to be revised. You get notifications when equipment needs to be calibrated on time. So we don't rely anymore on Excel files, for example, which only gives you the information when you open the file. You get it in your mailbox now via SimplerQMS and people, and of course that involves training and making people aware as well. Like you check, I always say, like you check your mailbox daily or you have it open all day, you have to open Simpler all day. You have to check it, and it's the same as your mailbox. It's called your assigned box in SimplerQMS. You have it open and you see what to do and when to do it. And that makes us much more in control of the, in general, complex processes like change control, documentation, and CAPAs and non-conformances. Well, in the preparation of an audit, SimplerQMS helps us in that way that all documents are very easily available digital. So we never print out any more documents up front. That saves us time and paper, of course. So auditors at the stage also used in working in this way and on a digital way with also other QMSs. They're used to it also with other companies, other customers. So it saves time in preparation because we know and we are sure and we also more and more confident when we go into an audit that everything is in SimplerQMS and that we can retrieve it very easily and we can show it immediately when needed. And we can also show our transparency during an audit. In the preparation, it saves time because you don't need to, we are already confident when the audit starts. We don't have to prepare that much anymore upfront because we know that everything is in SimplerQMS available. Specific advantages of the use of SimplerQMS are for example, I look to the change control system. In general, a change control process can be very complex with multiple people and departments that are involved. It requires the writing of a change control plan, the review, the approval, and after that, of course, the execution of all the change actions in the pre-arranged times. So to have this complex process in control and transparent, SimplerQMS really helps us in this way that all the actions, whether it's the writing of a document, the approving of the review or the execution of an action, all people know what to do. They have their actions all assigned in SimplerQMS in their personal environment, in their dashboard. They have their day-to-day, they have their to-do list in SimplerQMS. So they all know what to do and when to do it. All the registrations that they do, all the approvals of actions or documents, everything is audit trailed and everything is captured through electronic signatures. So when I look to change control management, that's a really big advantage for getting this complex process throughout a whole company with different departments, but to get it in control and to have the different people all doing the things they need to do, and also in a timely manner. The document control team works much more effective since we have implemented SimplerQMS, because we don't work anymore paper-based with paper-based documents with signatures and stamps based on the paper-based system. We can work much more effectively in SimplerQMS with the digital documents. But also when people temporarily leave the company, for example, in the maternity leave, or when people really leave the company in the offboarding process, the main advantage now is that we exactly know which actions, which documents are allocated to those persons, and it's also very easy to allocate these actions or documents to another person. So nothing of those actions or documents get lost, and that is a big change when we compare it to our first manual system. A lot of actions or documents, they just stayed where they were, and there was no good follow-up. And now with the digital way of working in SimplerQMS, we always have it transparent who is responsible for which actions, and when people leave, it's very easy to address those actions to another people. So we still have the continuous flow of these actions and also the finalization of these things, which really is a main advantage if I compare it the way we've used to work. For training management, the big advantage is that people who start in the onboarding process, the learning rules, the specific documents that they need to learn are allocated to them. And as I told before, Basic Pharma is a growing company, so we have a lot of new people each month starting at our company. And through SimplerQMS, they exactly know which documents they need to be trained on, they need to learn. And again, this is also captured through an electronic signature. It's also during audits or during inspections or self-inspections, we can very quickly see who was trained for which document and for which process. In a bigger company, you cannot do that anymore paper-based. That takes too much time, too much work, and will be very complex. And SimplerQMS makes this very transparent. But one of the examples where we really see the advantages is the management of suppliers. That's almost always a standard topic during an audit, how we manage the qualification of our critical suppliers. So our approved supplier list is in SimplerQMS. We can show with the audit trail who approved the suppliers, when they were approved, by whom they were approved, but also all the related documents like audits that we performed at our suppliers, or audit reports that we acquired. They are uploaded into SimplerQMS, but also they are approved in SimplerQMS. And that's also important to show that it's not only an archiving system, but we actually handled those documents. We reviewed those documents and we approved those documents related to suppliers in SimplerQMS. Same goes for questionnaires, same goes for QTAs. Everything is at one place. In this example, the supplier that is assessed at that moment, and we can really easily navigate from the one document to the other one, and as I said, also show that those documents are not only uploaded but are actually also assessed by us and approved by us, also on the content. And that's very important during an audit, but also for ourselves, that we actually looked at these documents and it's not only an easy way to archive them. Well, the main advantage of the use of SimplerQMS in collaboration between also different departments at Basic Pharma is that we work in a digital way, and everybody knows also from other departments which are not can be on another department or can be on another floor in our company. You exactly know in the bigger projects, like a change can involve multiple people from multiple projects, but you actually know from each other who needs to do what, who is responsible for which action, without having meetings where everybody should show up and physically show up. That takes time, of course. People have to be available. And with SimplerQMS, it's not necessary anymore. Of course, it's always good when there's a big project to have a kickoff and to divide the responsibilities and to explain where the change is about. But for the further follow-up and also after a time that has passed, everybody still knows who is responsible for what, because it's simply in the metadata of Simpler, and each person is assigned box, and you can also check at each stage. Everybody can check who is responsible for which action and what is the stage. Is it already closed or is it still pending? Is it overdue? Do they need to have a reminder? So that really improves also the collaboration between different departments. So there in general is more time now for the really working on quality and not anymore on the more administrative tasks from the quality management system, because that is managed through SimplerQMS already for us. Also the working with the electronic signatures provides us that documents can be signed in a digital way and don't need to be transported throughout the whole company. We have several different levels here in the company, and it saves time, people walking through the corridors and putting documents on other people's desks. People or documents get lost, need to search for the documents. So it always saves time at the end, and it works much more efficiently for the whole company, not only for the quality department, but for the whole company, because everybody works with SimplerQMS at Basic Pharma. I would advise when other organizations would implement a QMS, I really would advise to work in phases. For each phase, of course, in a GMP environment, when you implement a new process, you have to raise a change control. Don't make those change controls too big. Do it step by step. SimplerQMS, for example, also allows you to work in phases and to implement the functionalities one by one. So I think that's one advice that I would give. But another important thing, in my opinion, is that you shouldn't try to copy your current process as it is, your current way of working, into a digital system, because that's almost never possible. You should be open to the way the system which you've chosen for. You should be open to the way that works, and adapt your procedures into the way your system works, and not other way around, because it's never possible. So be open to that. When you, for example, work with SimplerQMS, it's used by a lot of other companies. So you're not the first one starting with it. And SimplerQMS is, in my opinion, also based on customer experience, which also means if you have implemented it, you can also always discuss about certain other features or possibilities that could potentially be implemented, and especially when also other customers come with these things, and we've seen it in practice that it's also implemented afterwards.